And there we go. So, as I was saying, double stops today and then 5 songs from the Folk Americana Songbook, 5 classics. Actually, a lot of the Folk America Songbook songs are songs that a lot of people don't know, so they aren't necessarily classics. But Early Morning Rain, of course, is classic. And but we're going to take a look at the double stops first. Let me bring that up. Let me share that. Got it nice and big. And I'll do We'll do something nice and big with me. And then, so a quick refresher. Double stop in English. 2 notes at the same time, not 4 notes. So not a full chord, but either open strings, 2 open strings, like your middle strings, or your 2 bottom strings, or whatever. But it's just 2 notes at one time. And what was I going to do? I know. Let's go in for the OUJ Action Cam. There we go. Okay. So we did double stops in C a couple weeks ago, and we started with the 2 open strings, C and E. And the beauty of C and E is if you go on your alphabet, C, D, E, E is the 3 or the third of C, and so you're adding 2 to whatever your major note is in order to harmonize. So that's C and E. And then we did D and F, and that's my open 2, 1, open, and I'm just, again, I'm taking my thumb and my index finger and I'm just plucking the 2 middle strings. We took that form and we moved it up to the 3rd fret. So my top finger now just went to E. So that's E and G with my bottom finger on the G note. And those are 3 steps apart again, E, F, G. Harmonizing. And then we swung in ring finger for the 5-0-5-5-0. And that's, no, sorry. So it's open, kind of an F, A chord looking thing. Open, 2, 1, open. 2 frets over, open, 4, 3, open. And then swung in our ring finger and did open, 5, 5, open. So there's really only 2 shapes that you have to learn. And the one looks like an A chord, but was on the 2nd and 3rd strings. And the other one looks like a D sus 4 or a D sus 2 chord, you know, like a 2-2 open open. But here we're putting them on the middle 2 strings on the 5th fret, and just plucking. And very pretty. They harmonize really well. And that was the C in the scale of C, and we screwed around with that a little bit. But we're going to take a look at the G scale today. And so what you've got in this double stops handout is the first line is your open string, then, or your open frets, nothing. Then 1st fret, if you read across the line, 1st fret, 2nd fret, 3rd fret, all the way up to 15th fret. That's why it goes 1 to 15 on that first line. Then that next line that's kind of blurred out mostly is your A string. So A, B flat, B, C, etc., all the way across. The reason some of those notes along your A string are a little bit more visible, those are the ones we're going to harmonize with. And so we're going to concentrate on the G scale today, and that's going to be on your second string, your E string, which starts out with E, F, open, which is E, first fret F, second fret F sharp, and then there's your G on that third fret, second string. And you've got this funny little thing that I put in below that line. It says W, W, H, W, 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 H. And that means that on any of your scales, as you move up the scale, you're going to go a whole step, so in this case G to A. Each fret is a half step, so you're going to go a whole step to the 5th fret. And if you look back up to that first line, you can see it lines up A, lines up with 5. So I go to the 5th fret, that's my A. Go to the 7th fret, that's my B. So that's W, W, whole step, 2 half steps equals a whole step. Go up, then I do a half step, so just 1 fret to C. Pretty cool. A whole step, 2 frets, 10th fret, D. 12th fret, E. That was whole, whole, and whole again is 14th fret. And this is an F sharp, so this is why the C scale is so pleasing to the ears, that it's got no sharps or flats, all whole notes. And but the G scale has an F sharp in the scale, and then a half a step to 15, G. You don't have to memorize that, you don't have to do anything with that, but just understand that we're operating as the second string, and the G scale is going to be our guide. Now to harmonize, we're going to try to harmonize with the first string, and obviously with your index finger on that second string, that's going to make it really hard to harmonize with the first string. So we're going to switch and use our middle fingers on that G. And again, if you add 2, G, A, B, so the B would be your third, and that's going to be your harmony note. And there's G and B. And that's that same A chord shape, where the 2 fingers are in adjacent frets and just 1 string apart. And if you take a look down at the chart again, now you see the G is lined up with the B right there, with a nice little blue line on my screen. Now, to get the next note on this G scale, the next note on the scale from G is A, and so we're going to go a whole step up to the 5th fret, so that's your A. A, B, C. The C is going to be your third, and so that's going to harmonize, but C is way back there on the first string, 3rd fret. Harmonizes beautifully, so now you've got a new form. So we had 2 together, just 1 fret apart. Then we had them together on the same fret. And now we've got an open fret separating the 2 fingers. Now if that's hard for your fingers to stretch from the 3rd to the 5th, then you of course could use your ring finger. And so we've got open, open, 5, 3. And we're going to take that form, and again, we're operating off of that second string. And so that was A, we're going to take it up to B. And what harmonizes with B, B, C, D, and there's your D note, first string, 5th fret. And then we pull them back together again because we're going to go to E, B, C, and E. So we've got open, open, 8, 7. So we had them together on the 2nd and 3rd fret. We had them apart on the 3rd and 5th. We had them apart on the 5th and 7th. And then we pulled them together on the 7th and 8th. And it continues, you can tell from the chart that it continues all the way up. And so I've just kind of made it so you could kind of, there's your creative mind, which is making this beautiful noise, and then your analytic side of your mind is doing a math of adding 3 to each of the notes in the G scale. And so you can continue that on up to the 15th fret. But for the sake of this exercise, we're just going to stop there, and we're going to go back down. 7, 8, spread them out, 5, 7, 3, 5, and 2, 3. Now 2, 3 is kind of fun because if you flat it, if you flat it, take it to 1 and 2. That sounds so Hawaiian. I can't stand it. So take it one step backwards and then bring it one step forwards again. And you can do that with each one of these. So 3, 5, back one step, forward, 5, 7. That was cool. And 7, 8. And then backwards. That's kind of fun. So what's the utility of this? Well, you're going to hear it in songs, and you're going to say, you know what I just heard? I just heard somebody doing some double stops, like in Amy McKenna and I were just looking at the Willen chord chart for the song Willen, and that starts out with starts out with 3 double stops. And there's a rose in Spanish, Harlem. Does the same thing, and Peace Train is a great one. But let's say you just want to use it somewhere in a song. You've got a song that starts in G, and then maybe to the G, and C. Well, you're tired of doing 2 measures of G and 2 measures of C, and then starting the song, and so you think, okay, what if I did double stop? And then I started my song. Or if you had a song that, you know, was a basic G, E minor, C, D7, and then it ended, G, it resolves. Instead of resolving it, what if you went, did a little double stop up the neck and came back and then resolved it? Or did a real simple, instead of, you did a D7, and then you decided to do that Hawaiian sounding thing. Did a little, our first open, 3, open, open, 3, open, open, 3, 2. And decided to flat it. Or you decided to do 2 of those. Let's do, or you decided to go up the neck with it. You decided to go. You don't have to come all the way down because it's all in the key of G and it's all harmonizing. You can go up to 7 and come back and resolve with G. So I wanted to find a way to bring this home to how would you actually use this? Well, you're going to find some songs that do use it, and then you can kind of recognize it and see if you can figure out how they fit that into the context of the song. But you can do it in your own songs that you don't have an ending that has any kind of pizzazz or anything. Say, what if I used a double stop? Who has questions? Who's got questions out there? Anybody? Annie Lem's here. What's happening? Susan, what's going on? Sylvia, Barbara. Barbara's in the mountains.
I just got here. Sorry I missed the beginning.
Oh, no worries. It's all being captured for the World Wide Web, so it'll be there for you whenever
Great.
you need it. Whenever
Thank you.
you need it. Let's take a look at early morning rain, if there's no questions. In the early morning. Why does it do that? I don't know why. That's why. Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. Yeah, that's a good looking elbow bob. That's very nice. Nicely done. That's as big as that's going to get. We'll leave this on the action cam because we've got a little exercise we're going to do here. So it's pretty straightforward. F. B flat, of course, the substitute is G minor 7. And there's G minor 7 all over this song. So as far as I'm concerned, you can play G minor 7 whatever you want to. C. But every time I see B flat now and then C, I want to just slide that form right up to the 3rd fret. And then back. Now, the exercise is every time you see 2 beats of B flat or F sus 4, if you take a look at your F sus 4 chord diagram up there at the top, and then your B flat, and then your G minor 7, they've all got those first 2 strings, open, open, 2, 2. G minor 7, of course, adds another finger. B flat adds 2. F sus 4 pulls out a space in between them. As far as I'm concerned, if you've only got 2 beats, why not just do C7 sus 4? It sounds great. It harmonizes with the G and the C string. It's only going to be there for a split second. So every time I see B flat, I'm going to do C7 sus 4. And every time I see F and F sus in brackets, I'm going to do F twice. I'm just going to flatten out, do that twice, and come back. Well, actually, no, that was the exercise. Yeah, there's these 2 beats. There's probably 10 different ways to handle them. The easiest is skip them. Okay, forget that though. Let's assume we're going to play them. The easiest is do 1, 2, 1, 2. And that's the exercise. What we tend to do when we're strumming fast is we tend to do down, down, up. So that's another way to handle it. If you ever wanted to pick this song, and it sounds great, or if you just wanted something different other than a double down strum, you could strum once. Let me see, F. So I'm strumming with my thumb once, and then I'm coming back with thumb and index on those two middle strings. So the count, if you're one of those 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and people, would be 1, 2 and 2 and 1, 2 and 1, 2. Nice and slow, Bob. 1, 2 and 2 and. So if you're doing first line, in the early morning rain, with I'm not gonna sing. 1, 2, 3, C sus 4. F. So I did C, 2 and B flat, but I'm doing C7 sus. 2 and F, 2 and flat, 2 and F. F, 2 and flat, 2 and F. So that's the exercise, is to see if you can do a strum, 2 and strum, 2 and strum, in timing, in rhythm. You know, until you can do that, maybe this sounds good to you, maybe it doesn't. If you want to do this and it doesn't quite work for you, you practice this for a while until you. The trick is not to let your thumb go too far, because it's got to come back to pick that note. So it's a great exercise in just having your thumb go the width of your 4 strings. And then the ultimate on the picking, so then let's see, then we do F, C sus, F, C sus, and that, you know, the C7 sus 4 is not charted up at the top, so I'm just kind of giving you a workaround or a hack. Some people call these little, when you drop fingers off of chords or find a new way to play them that seems a little bit easier, they call it a hack. Yeah, so then the next step up, if you wanted to pick the whole thing, would be to pluck the outer 2 instead of strumming, is pluck. That's your 1. And when you pluck, your thumb is closer. It might actually be easier to pluck. So I'm plucking 1 and 4 and using my thumb and my index for 3 and 2. Pluck, 3, 2, pluck, 3, 2, pluck, 3, 2. And always when you're learning a new skill with your right hand, it's always good to just mute your strings and just concentrate on your right hand and not worry about the sound. So that's 3 different ways, 4 different ways. Down, 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 up. Thumb, 3, 2, thumb, 3, 2, thumb, 3, 2. Or pluck, 3, 2, pluck, 3, 2. And I think when I can remember, when I forget, then I go back into just strumming. But when I can remember, I'm going to try to pluck 3, 2, like that. Who's got questions? Oh, Bob. All those fireworks last night, I didn't get any sleep. Now you're trying to make me think. I think that's good. We don't need to do that. We can do this. Let's do this. Say hello to the peoples. Hello, peoples. Yeah, so let's just play this nice and slow. 1, 2. My wrist is all aching in my heart. My pocket's full of sand. I'm a long way from home. Miss my loved one so. In the early morning rain, with no place to go. Out on runway number 9, 707 set to go. Stuck here on the ground, with the cold wind blow. Now liquor tasted good, and the women all were fast. Well, now there she goes, my friend. Well, she's rolling now at last. Hear the mighty engine roar. See the silver wing on high. She's away and westward bound. Far above the clouds she'll fly. Where the morning rain don't fall. And the sun always shines. She'll be flying over my home in about 3 hours' time. This old airport's got me down. It's no earthly good for me, 'cause I'm stuck here on the ground, cold and drunk as I can be. You can't jump a big jet plane like you can an old freight train. So I'd best be on my way in the early morning rain. In the early morning rain, with $1 in my hand, with an aching in my heart, my pocket's full of sand. I'm a long way from home, and I miss my loved one so. Early morning rain, with no place to go. I'm a long way from home, and I miss my loved one so. In the early morning rain, with no place to go. In the early morning rain, with no place to go. All right already. Oh, that was fun. You know, you may or may not have noticed that I went to single strums on a couple of those 2-beat chords, because you know you lose your way and you kind of forget, and then they sneak up on you, and then oh yeah, I was going to do the picking, I was going to do the plucking, I was going to, you know, and then that's what happened. So it all sounded good. So that was a little bit slow, I understand, but that's just so we could all kind of play around and practice and goof off and all that kind of stuff. Any questions about that? them there, that stuff. The nice thing about that C7sus4 is if you're one of those who really doesn't like the key of F, and the reason you don't like the key of F is because of B flat. Just stick, and I was going to tell you, I should have done that. You know, you're playing F, and then you're going to C7sus4. You can just swivel and put a second finger down there. Instead of trying to press it down with one finger, you can just swivel it. I think that's what Barbara's doing up in the mountains. She was practicing that last time we talked about it. Anyway, yeah, early morning rain. So that Gordon Light, maybe it was the one that I shared in the email. He says that with Peter, Paul, and Mary recording that, that's what really got him his big break in music. I think we'll do that. There we go. That's not bad. Made him some money and let him do some more recording himself. He was kind of happy about that. So Emmylou, First Aid Kit. I think Amy Jo bought this for me. A CD from First Aid Kit. I think they were at Outside Lands or someplace. Anyway, they were all the rage back in the early aughts. And two young gals from Sweden who aren't so young anymore. And somehow grew up listening to Emmylou and Graham Parsons and June Carter Cash. Or June Carter at the time and Johnny Cash. And we came up with this really sweet song called Emmylou. I think the only thing, let me see. I think the D minors, I'm going to try to do a thumb strum and a 1, 2, 3 on the first 3 strings. So I'll just do a regular. If you're not used to B flat major 7, or as we like to refer to it, BB Maj 7, it's always following a D minor, and so your index finger is already in the right place, and so you're just reconfiguring your middle and your ring fingers into an E minor shape. Beautiful chord. With that D minor, I think I'm going to try to remember to do 3 notes on that, just to break up all the strumming. In the 1, 2, 3, 4, the 5th section, the bridge. The bridge is kind of wordy, but that's okay. We can do wordy. After the bridge, you've got an F stop. I'll be your Emmylou. It takes the timing is 2 measures, and so I think I'm going to redo the chart, and I'm going to put in a second F, because I like to do I'll be your Emmylou. I like to do a second thumb strum in the middle at the beginning of that second measure. Other than that, it just feels right. I'll be your June. You'll be my Graham and my Johnny too. No, I'm not asking much of you. Just sing. And then the D minor and the C are just 1 measure each. Sing, little darling, sing with me. If you counted it, that section, you would do I'll be your Emmylou. And, you know, it's 8 beats. So, I'll be your June. You'll be my Graham and my Johnny too. No. So it's nice to have another strum in the middle there, I think. They play it like this. I mean, I laid it out. I laid out the chart the way they play it. But they might have like a drummer in the background doing a little reed drumming or something. I don't know if it's completely silent, But their strumming is just a single strum in this section, and then they come back strong with the chorus. And that's all there is to it, just a sweet, sweet folk song. There's a thing about a riff up in the strum chart, up in the right-hand corner there, and I will skip that for the time being. I revised this, I probably should have deleted that. My apologies. Humans were involved, let's just put it that way. 1, 2, 3, 4. Keeps returning up I'm not asking much of you. Just sing, little darling, sing with me. I'll be your Emily. I'll be your June. You'll be my Graham and Johnny too. I'm not asking much of you. Just sing, little darling, sing with me. Just sing, little darling, sing with me. That was Emmy Lou, first aid kit. That's what's going on there. Faithless love. This is a breed of a different cat, ain't it? Let's take a look at this. We're still doing good on time. We're okay. J.D. Souther, instead of joining up with the Eagles, joined up with Richie Furry. Souther Hiller, I forget who Hiller was. Souther Hiller Furry Band. Should have been an Eagle, that's all I can say. He co-wrote New Kid in Town with Glenn Frey. Yeah, we're going to take a look at this intro, because that's going to come up 3 times. 1, 2, 3, 4 times. It is just 4 beats of C. Let's do the action cam. Let's do the action cam. That'd be fun. That'd be fun. Video. Action cam. So it is just 4 beats of C, but to get to E flat from C, what the heck? But, wait for it, wait for it, wait for it, wait for it, wait for it. If you hide your index finger on that first string, first fret, and then play your C, when your next chord is E flat, oh, your index is already there. Oh my God. What? There's your C. Your index is hidden, it's not affecting the chord any, but it is affecting your playing because it makes that transition to E flat. The trick is it's not hard to remember this at the beginning. It's hard to remember when you're in process and you've just played an F. And remember that when you go to the C, that your index, you want your index down there. When you do play the C, you do have 4 beats to put your index down. But you do want your index down before you have to go to the E flat. Otherwise, you're hanging out there, your index is floating around, and you get done with the C and you think, oh, E flat, yeah, okay. And already you're 2 beats behind the count. So anyway, so the idea behind this is that you strum the chord once, we're looking at the intro, of course. You strum the C once, and then you do 3rd string, 2nd string, 1st string, 2nd string, 3, 2, 1, 2. Strum, and as I said before, if you're learning something new, mute your strings. Strum, 3, 2, 1, 2. Strum, and I'm doing this all with my thumb. I suppose you could do thumb assigned to 3rd and 4th string, index to 2nd string, and middle finger to the 1st string. And you could do 3, 2, 1, 2, thumb, index, middle, index. But it's not super fast picking, and it seems easier to explain and to execute with just doing your thumb. go down, come back up. So that's C with a hidden index, E flat. Now, all you have to do for A flat, we're not worried about the top string, is move that ring finger over one and form a G. That's pretty. What'd you do? I had E flat. I just moved my, where's the ring finger? There it is, right there. That's the ring. So the finger that the ring is on is the ring finger. If you don't have a ring on that finger, then it's the third finger from your index. Second finger from your index. Okay, okay. Slide it over, form the G. Slide it right back for your, or just lift your, slide it back for the G. That's nice. So it was C with a hidden finger, 3, 2, 1, 2, E flat, 3, 2, 1, 2, slide. Slide back, single strum. Faithless love. Like that. Once in a while there's an F with an F/C. That's adding your pinky down where you would have put your C note. So that means add a C note to your F. Why do that? I don't know. Because it's too much F. It provides just a little bit of movement on the F. Gives you just something to think about. It's not even remotely necessary for the execution of the song. Now, when you get to the third line in that first verse, when the night blows in, the cold, dark wind, faithless love, like a river flows. So it's 2 beats, 2 beats, 4 beats, 2 beats, 2 beats, 4 beats, 2 beats, 2 beats, 4. That's C and G. We could spend a lot of time trying to do C strong, G strong, F, C strong, G strong, F. But you can practice that on your own, but that is a way to do that to make it sound kind of interesting, is pick the C note on your open C string and then strum for the 2 beats. Pick the G note, which we know is that 3rd fret 2nd string, because we just did the G scale with the double stops. And then the F is where your index finger is, so again you're on the 2nd string. So you could spend all night practicing that over and over and over again, disturbing housemates and pets while you do it. But for our purposes, we'll just do 2 beats. And to make the 2 beats sound different, I'm going to do a thumb strum and then a down strum with my index finger. That time I did thumb strum at the start of both of them. When we do that 3, 2, 1, 2, I'll slow down every time we do that. Give everybody a chance to kind of stay with the groove. Eek. Slide. Slide back. That's good. Yes.
Aside from the intro, when are you doing the 3, 2, 1, 2?
So if you look at the end of the first verse, like a river flows,
Uh-huh.
is you have the choice of either strumming 4 beats of C or right at the word flows. That's why the slash is there, that you would just do a single strum. And then the 3, 2, 1, 2.
Okay.
And then the same thing at the end of the second verse, right at the word wrong. Where did I go wrong? And then all the way at the end.
Okay.
The last line, like a river flows.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah. Good question. Good question. So I had put the dots in originally because some people aren't going to do that. And it is just 4 beats. And it sounds perfectly fine with where did I go wrong? If you just strum it out, it sounds perfectly fine. And perfectly playable and a beautiful song. So there's that. Other questions?
So Bob, on that, where did I go wrong? On the F is 3 beats and then FC is 1 beat.
Typically, when we do, you could try it that way. I think in reality, I tend to put my pinky down right after the second downbeat.
Okay, thank you.
But if you did it on the third, I don't know that there'd be anything wrong with that. But typically, you know, it's hard to, those brackets with 2 chords are trying to tell you that those 2 chords are going to share 4 beats. And then, you know, it's up to the player to decide, do you want to do that, just split it in half and do 2 beats, 2 beats. Do you want to switch on the up, which means really that the F is only getting 1 and yeah, 1 and 2, yeah, just 1.5 beats. And the F/C is getting 2.5 beats. You know, it's to your ear and your preference. If you get your pinky down anywhere in that sequence, I'm tickled to death. Anybody else? These are great questions. Let's play Faithless Love by J.D. Sounder. I'm going to stop this whole rigmarole. Watch this. Live from OUJ World HQ. Faithless Love. Let's see. 1, 2, hide your index, 3, 4. Faithless love, like a river flows, like raindrops falling on a broken rose, down in some valley where nobody goes, where the night blows in like a cold, dark wind. Faithless love, like a river flows. That was clunky. Faithless love. Where did I go wrong? Too many stories, too many Faithless love will find you, and misery entwine you. Faithless love, where did I go wrong? Well, I guess I'm standing in the hall with broken dreams. That's the way it sometimes goes. I got off beat. That's the way. From the F, that's the way it sometimes goes. That's the way it sometimes goes. And never knew love never turns out like it seems. Yes, the feeling comes and goes. Faithless love, like a river flows, like raindrops falling on a broken rose, down in some valley where nobody goes. Faithless love has found me, thrown its chilly arms around me. Faithless love, faithless love, faithless love, like a river flows, like a river flows. Ah, warts and all, warts and all. The heck? What the heck? We played Forever Young on Saturday, a couple Saturdays ago, in the park. That was the world debut, I think. I don't know, maybe it wasn't. I don't know. Might have been the world debut for OUJ's Forever Young. And I was telling folks there that, it's a Bob Dylan song. I thought I knew his catalog, but did not know this song. And there we were in COVID years. And I was poking around for something on YouTube, and there was this big, it must have been like his 75th birthday or something. And you have to think about how old I am and whether 75 sounds right. And it sounds, maybe that's right. It was 75th birthday, but it was all these people from Ireland, all of these people over the pond doing a Bob Dylan tribute, and they're all taking turns on Forever Young. And I think what I've come to realize is it's because Rod Stewart recorded it, and it was a huge hit for Rod Stewart, almost disco-esque, you can imagine. If You Think I'm Sexy crossed with Bob Dylan's Forever Young, and then you've got the Rod Stewart version. But anyway, listening to them play it and love it, obviously, I thought, well, maybe we could play this. And I do kind of like it, so here we are. Plus, it's in the key of D. Makes us play some new chords. That's a pretty one, F sharp minor. If you aren't familiar with that one, it's just a really badly played G7. Going from F sharp minor to E minor. That don't work, nope. That don't work, nope. You just gotta drop drop your finger down there and form it, I think. That's a great acoustic moment, isn't it? F sharp minor, E minor. F sharp minor, E minor. Fortunately, it's not a fast song, and you get 8 beats to get it right, so even if your fingers go all jabberwocky on you, you're still going to get it at some point. So there's nothing really to it much. We think this. B minor, you obviously could play B minor 7. I used to always put, if we had a song with B minor, I used to put a B minor 7 chord diagram and a B minor chord diagram to kind of get it in people's minds that they can use B minor 7. But after 7 years, I think I'll just say it. If you want to use B minor 7, please do. 2, 3, 4. It's also kind of nice because you can hammer on that D. You can hammer your bottom. Just strum and put your finger back down. Pick your finger up. Play the sus chord to start. And put your bottom finger of your D back down. Same with F sharp minor. Same with G. And back to D. And the other reason I like D is you can slide in from a D flat. It's not really D flat, I understand that. But it's taking your D and kind of flattening it. Taking it to the first fret and sliding it back in. Anyway, 2, 3, 4. May God bless and keep you always. May your wishes all come true. May you always, did you hit it? Others, let others do for you. May you build a ladder to the stars. Climb on every rung. May you stay forever young. Forever young. B minor 7, forever young. May you stay forever young. May you grow up to be righteous. May you grow up to be true. May you always know the truth. See the lights surrounding you. May you always be courageous. Stand upright and be strong. And may you stay forever young. Forever young. Forever young. May you stay forever young. May your hands always be busy. May your feet always be swift. May you have a strong foundation when the winds of changes shift. May your heart always be joyful. May your song always be sung. And may you stay forever young. Forever young. Forever young. May you stay forever those who can stick around. We're getting close, I know. I know. A lot of chatter. A lot of chatting, explaining, stuff like that. That's okay. There's another one. Can't say that I've followed Bruce Springsteen that closely in some of his later albums and some of his works. But he's got such great live videos that were put up during the COVID wars. You would just trip over stuff. And this is one where he wasn't playing with the E Street Band. It was another ensemble cast from, and I think it was Ireland. Could have been England, but I think it was Ireland, and they were all playing this and all taking parts in the chorus. And like he had 4 or 5 different lead singers that would each take a part. And so it's just a great, maybe I'll send out the video or send out the link. Really great. But then I saw that Johnny Cash did a version of this, which is really, really good as well. So yeah, we can do that. And I was on a folk Americana kick, and it's got a real deep, dark folk, kind of on the road, chilling kind of a feel to it. So what the heck, we'll do that. The only thing I do different on this is on the E7s. Is if you push your index finger of your E7, E7 is 1, 2, open 2, 1, 2, open 2, 1, 2, open 2. If you push it over so you've got 2, 2, open 2, that's E7 sus 4. And sounds a really cool way to break up, especially here where you've got 2 measures of E7, do 2 beats of E7, push your index finger over, pull it back for the 4 beats. So I do that pretty frequently in this song. And other than that, I might do some wherever the mood strikes me. But we're getting close to the end, so I won't say much more about that. 1, 2, 3, 4. The only thing I'll say is the reason we haven't played this before, I've had the chart forever, is because it's so dark. But it's a great song and fits in really well with the theme. Further on the road, further up the road, I'll meet you further on up the road. Gotta hear Johnny Cash do it, where the way is dark and the night is cold. Meet you further on up the road, where the road is dark and the seed is sowed, where the gun is cocked, the bullets cold, where the miles are marked in the blood and gold. I'll meet you further on up the road, further up the road, further up the road. meet you further on up the road. Got on my dead man suit, my smiling skull ring, graveyard blues, and a song to sing. Got a song to sing, y'all. Keeps me out of the cold. And I'll meet you further on up the road. Further up the road. Further up the road. I'll meet you further on up the road, where the way is dark, the night is cold. I'll meet you further on up the road. Been out in the desert, just doing my time, searching through the dust for a sign. If there's a light, brother, I don't know. I'll meet you further on up the road. Further up the road. Further up the road. I'll meet you further on up the road. One sunny morning will rise, I know. I'll meet you further on up the road. Further on up the road, Bruce Springsteen.
I have a question.
Oh, please.
I like that E7 to E7 sus, but I don't know exactly when you transition between the two. Can you show me again?
So you've got a lot of different choices. The easiest one when you've got 4 beats is to do 2 beats and 2 beats. So if you do and then back. So you're coming up on it, you know, let's say on the 3rd line where the road is dug. The seed is sown, the gun is cocked, and the bullets go. So that's one approach. The other is, you know, don't confuse your strumming with the lyrics and wait for the second 4 beats. So just do E7 on a cold, and then go over on that first beat of the second 4 beats.
Oh, but just the first beat that way. Okay.
Well, it's 2 beats. It's 2 beats, but you're finishing that first measure with the word cold. Cold. And then you're moving over. But in that instance, I was combining it in a strum as if I had brackets around E7 and E7 sus. And I was going. So I was doing down, down on the E7 sus. And then pulling back on them. And you could do it vice versa. But it's just, you know, it's the same as G7 sus. C sus. You decide how you want to. Two beats or part of a pattern of a strum. You know, you just kind of play around with it. But the easiest way to do it is do 2 beats, 2 beats. Good? We weepy PCC. So great to see everybody. You made it. Some of you made it. Some of us made it. Half of us made it. Great to have you here.
Thanks, Bob.
Thanks for coming
Thank
out.
you, Bob.
Great to see you,
Thanks, Bob.
Sylvia. Almost
Great.
see you.
Bob.
Thanks,
Thank
Bob.
you.
My first time.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thank you.
Awesome.
Ciao bella. Buon giorno.
And I told the Pleasanton group about the 22nd, so I put a little post there. So we'll see. Hopefully,
Did you get a lot of ho hums?
I just did it right before, so not yet.